Okay, so today I want to talk about 7 acupressure points that we can use for asthma. Now, many people are becoming dissatisfied with the use of prescription drugs for their asthma, which isn't curing the condition, and these drugs often have side effects. Now, asthma is a very serious issue. It doesn't resolve by itself. When the airways are very sensitive to certain triggers, these triggers can be everything from foods to air pollution to mold, paint fumes, cleaning products, car exhaust fumes, smoke, pollen, and so forth. As you can see, they seem to be becoming more and more numerous. Any of these triggers can potentially lead to an asthma attack, with symptoms such as tightness in the chest, wheezing, coughing, difficulty breathing. The good news is that by doing regular treatments with acupressure and or acupuncture, we can reduce the chances of having an asthma attack. Now, I'm going to break down asthma into 2 types according to Oriental medicine perspective. So we have the excess type asthma and the deficient type asthma. Excess type asthma, this type of person will often have mucus in the lungs. If there's an excess of cold, then the asthma will be triggered by cold weather or cold food. Now, the hot type of excess, this person will often have asthma triggered by hot weather. They may also have redness, like a pink or reddish tone to the face. This is a sign of excess heat in the body, which is then triggered by anything that produces more heat in the body, like hot food or hot weather. And then we have the damp type excess. And so this person will have more mucus than any of the other types, and they will have trouble breathing when they're lying down. So one point that works well for this type of asthma is a point on the wrist called lung 7. So we're going to find this on the radial side of the forearm. So we're just going to find the wrist crease here, and then we're moving 1.5 sun below the wrist crease. So that's 2 of your fingers. This point is used for asthma and to strengthen the lungs because it's on the lung channel. It will help if you are having a hard time taking a full deep breath. This point also works for neck issues such as stiffness in the neck, cough, or a sore throat. The next point is on the lower leg, a point called stomach 40. This is on the anterior aspect of the lower leg. So we're going to count 8 sun above the external malleolus. So that's the high point of this outer ankle bone here. The easiest way to measure this point is you're just going to put one pinky on the external malleolus and stretch your hand out. And then you're going to put your other pinky on the knee joint, the lateral knee joint. So that's right in here. And then you're going to find the halfway point along this tibia bone. This is how you find the halfway point. So when you find the halfway point on the tibia bone, so you're going to be just on the upper crest of the tibia. So there's like a ridge right here in the front of your lower leg. And then you're just going to go 2 finger widths outside of this tibia bone. And then you've hit stomach 40. This point is used for the type of asthma that experiences phlegm. This point also treats cough, headache, and dizziness. Now, the reason we're using the stomach channel point, in case you're interested, because the stomach is linked to asthma in 2 ways. The first way is that improper functioning of the stomach system in Oriental medicine will eventually lead to a phlegm buildup, which will then get deposited into the lungs. The second reason is that the lung channel pathway actually begins in the stomach, in what's called the middle burner right here. And from there, it moves out upwards to the chest in this area here, lung 1 and 2, and then the lung channel runs down the arm to the hand and ends at lung 11. So this information helps us to understand how the stomach supports the lungs and can benefit a condition like asthma. Now, the second type of asthma is the deficiency type asthma. So here we find a person who has deficiency symptoms, so signs of low energy in the body. These symptoms include pale face, weakness, shortness of breath on exertion, and needing to have the head propped up in order to sleep. Now, the acupressure for the deficiency type, we're going to go to the lower leg, the inside of the lower leg to the kidney channel. And we're going to start here by finding a point called kidney 3. This is on the medial aspect of the ankle. So we're just going behind this ankle bone here called the medial malleolus. So just behind here we'll find a depression. So this is between the medial malleolus, this big bone, and the tendocalcaneus. So right here, this is kidney 3. And then we're going to move down 1 cun, so that's 1 thumb width below kidney 3. And just at this bony area called the calcaneum, right here, you often find it's quite tender. This point here is called kidney 5. Okay, and then going back to kidney 3, we're going to use this to locate our third point, which is kidney 7. So from kidney 3, we're going to measure 3 finger widths, which is also called 2 cun above kidney 3. So just running in a straight line here. This is kidney 7. So these 3 points in a row is called a Dao Ma. With the Dao Ma, what is special about treating 3 points in a row is that we get a stronger effect by treating all of them together than we do by treating the points individually. Now, in TCM, the breath comes in through the lungs, and this oxygen is then grasped by the kidney, the strength of the kidneys. The kidneys are securing this air that's coming in. So strong kidneys are necessary in order for the body to be able to hold the breath long enough and for the oxygen to be absorbed. When the kidneys are weak, then we find there's shortness of breath. A weak kidney system is also an issue with childhood asthma in particular, because the kidney system is the repository for our constitutional inheritance, which we got from our parents and our ancestors. So when we have a congenital illness, a weakness that we are born with, this points to a need to strengthen our kidney system. The next point is called lung 9. We can find this on the radial end of the transverse crease of the wrist. So that's just below the thumb here. And if you put your finger here, you'll feel a pulsation. That's your radial artery. So when you feel that radial pulse below the wrist crease, this is lung 9. It's also called the source point of the lung system because it's the source of energy for the lungs. We use it to strengthen the lungs, and it's a great point for improving breathing in cases of asthma. And then finally, down on the leg below the knee, we're going to use a point called stomach 36. So this point is located on the front of the lower leg, 3 cun, which is 4 fingers, so 1 hand's width below stomach 35. And just finding the anterior crest of the tibia, it's this sharp ridge on the front of the leg here, and just going 1 thumb outside of that, you should find a little depression, maybe a little bit tender in some cases. So this point is used for any case of general weakness, a deficiency. It strengthens the body on all levels. It treats many, many diseases. And in the case of asthma, it treats shortness of breath, lassitude, dizziness, as well as cough. So I recommend that you work these points 1 or 2 minutes each one, both sides of the body, several times a day, maybe morning and night. I would also recommend that in addition to the acupressure, that you incorporate some diaphragmatic breathing into your routine. Diaphragmatic breathing is a type of breathing that professional singers use. It allows them to hold their breath for a long time. It means taking air deep into the body rather than just the upper chest, so that you actually see your abdomen rise and fall. This will also help you to slow down your breathing, which is very relaxing, and it will create greater efficiency in your breathing, which means you'll need less oxygen and conserve more of your energy. So I hope this has been helpful for you today. Thank you for joining me here, and I look forward to connecting with you in our next video. Thank you.